If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear.
Hello and welcome to episode 48 of the Loud Crowd podcast and our last episode of 2024. So we're delighted to be joined tonight by a man who is currently living my own dream, a very in shape and popular ginger man living in New York City with his dog and working for himself. So with us tonight is Daniel Yankee McKenna, which he's also known as the Irish Yank. So Yankee, thank you very much obviously for coming along with us tonight. It's been a long time since myself and Jordan have seen you last.
Right, yeah, it's been nearly 10 years.
Nearly 10 years, yeah. Since you were lifting the Trench Cup together over in Mayo, wasn't it?
Mayo, yeah.
Was it?
No.
Oh, Jordan said it.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was the second. It was one in Mayo, yeah.
Yeah,
Your turn, was it, John?
bored away, he's like.
Yeah, that's when I pulled the number 12 jersey off you.
Thought they retired it, no. I was half with O'Sheen with that one there.
But yeah, thanks very much for coming along and
Thank you,
welcome
Daniel.
home, obviously, Yank. How you finding being home for Christmas for a wee while?
It's always good. I must say that's probably the best introduction I've had now in a while. Not playing any other one. No, it's been good. It's good. I come home a wee bit earlier. I surprised me mum for her birthday there, and I had a stag lotus. Come home a bit earlier. But it's always good to see everybody, and then I have a niece and nephew there that's nearly 6, nearly 8, so they're fit to be up and about a bit more and leaving school and all. It's good crack, you know. So
Seen some of them, all right. Oh, we was getting an absolute horror time in the morning.
Pear, she's the sassiest wee girl you ever meet, so she's well fit to handle it. So have to keep her on her toes, you know. But no, it's good. It's good to see the folks, see the family. You know, aunts and uncles, they're always getting older every time you come back, so it's always good. And try to come back as much as I can. And it's always good to see the lads and stuff like that too, you know.
After 10 years.
After 10 years, and I better late than ever.
Yeah,
you know?
that's it.
So just on the guest podcast that we do, Yank, generally we'd always go back to sort of the start. So tell us a little bit about your background, upbringing, obviously in Truagh over in Monaghan, sporting backgrounds, or even like from a young age. What was your active status like over there?
So I think it goes back as far as like I was kicking a ball from a cud, you know, from was fit to. My mum was a PE teacher. When she brought us back in '96, you know, she's still doing it, and I used to go to work with her from I was fit to, and just kicking ball or playing hurling from very, very young age, and really had no choice in the matter. And then it stuck to me now, definitely. I was very lucky as well. I'd say this a lot, where I was very lucky in the age group that I grew up in. We had a very, very good team, and I, you know, would say it's probably one of the best teams, minor or underage team, from under 12 the whole way up to under 21s that has went through our club. And I think a few of the boys would agree with that, and not in a boastful way, but in a way of like kind of setting a standard that we would like to see, you know, coming up with the younger generation. But in a way of very lucky to play on like a very high quality team and get very good coaches and have a good underage career. You know, we were Division 1 for the most part, and again through Gael Truagh. In my, you know, that was what my life revolved around for the first half of my entire life. You know, we were very lucky, played in Division 1 finals the whole way from under 12s the whole way up until, you know, seniors. That obviously helped when I went to college, and, you know, Dundalk and Jordanstown and with the county and stuff like that. So pretty much had a football or hurling or a handball as well. You know, we've that's one good thing with Truagh is that we covered nearly all the sports. It's one of the better handball facilities as well in the county. So we, you know, you just played everything. You know, yourself growing up in Ireland in the early 2000s, you just played every sport you possibly could. Like, I think I played 4 different sports in 1 week when I was 16, and my mum said pick one. You know, that was it. I'm not running you the 4 other ones here anymore. Like,
Can I pick 2 maybe? At least one's hard.
There was one big one, like I played football, and then I was like, alright, play a bit of hurling here and there, you know.
Yeah.
Training one, and then I just play a match.
I got you, yeah.
But yeah, like, so the underage, you know, this was before iPads and all that kind of stuff. So you're outside kicking ball, and again, I was very lucky to have very good coaches. And again, I'd say that some of the stuff that I learned when I was 14 have probably still stuck to me now, and some of the sayings and the thought process and the mindset that would have been pushed into you then, I still use it now, and I try to teach a lot of clients and stuff that stuff now too. But kind of goes to show how much Gaelic football can, and the training can then have an effect later on in life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I was very lucky with my upbringing, and you know, the fellas that I had around me, and the peers I had around me and stuff like that. So yeah, like through Gales was great crack back in the day.
You never tried the hand at that soccer ball, no?
I did actually. We that was one of the sports that I played, and I was
Yeah.
that was the bar. That was number 4.
Oh, jeez, I
I
don't like to
know.
hear that. Me always giving the boys abuse about the Gaelic, yeah. Aye, yeah.
Oh, maybe might have been a different story now, but yeah, I played with Monaghan United when we were younger, under 12s, 13s. We
Yeah,
actually went to the soccer World Cup, on 13 World Cup in South Korea.
Ridiculous. Just get up and happy to drop that in.
Well, we didn't win it. Let's put it like that. We didn't win it. But yeah, because we won the under 12s, and we got beat in the All Ireland final by St Kevin's up in Dublin.
Yeah.
Beat us 2-0, bastards. And and then the way this is hilarious the way it worked. But the 4 semi-finalists were put into a hat to represent Ireland in the under 13 World Cup in South Korea, and a fucking name got
We pulled out.
So what? The Kevins won it, and you got pulled out.
Yeah, it's not good enough to win the match, is it? The only fair way is pulling it out of the hat, you know?
So at least that's the way I remember it happening. And I'm happy enough for it, because we went over, and I still remember bits of it, like you staying in the fucking 5-star Hilton Hotel and all that kind of crack, and just, you get on great over there. So the redheads
Yeah.
never shit. They were coming over, and they were touching my hair and all this, and
Oh, yeah.
there is none over there, like. And one
Like
of the boys had streaks in his hair. He had black hair, but he had blonde streaks in the top. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah,
Celebrity status.
literally, it was just, it was kind of, we were just like, but that is one of the few memories I have of it now. But that was good crack. So yeah, I played soccer all right.
Yeah.
We're younger, but you know yourself, like Gaelic football back then, even now, like it's got to a crazy point. Like it is a professional sport.
Full time.
Still amateur, like.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you know, you didn't really have any free time. Like, you know, you're playing for club, probably 3, 16s, minors, on 21s or seniors, the county, if you went to college as well,
Yeah.
Development squads. You're playing for 4 or 5 different teams at once. So
That's mad, isn't it?
there you go.
That's fair enough, to be fair.
You spent a good bit of your time here, obviously, before you made the trip across the water with Monaghan, with the seniors and that. I presume, obviously, with the underage setups too.
Yeah.
Did you miss that sort of, like, was that something that you found it hard to leave, or was it easier?
Not a bit.
No, yeah, I get that. I sort of get that from you.
Yeah.
It's just it's very excessive.
Yeah. Again, I think it is, when you're growing up, like it is the best thing that you can achieve, is playing for your county, like, and you definitely get a different perspective when you're outside the country, like living in America or still or wherever. You see a wee bit more to life, than just football. But when you're here and you're in the bubble, like, it is all the life revolves around, and I can see why. And it's such a great thing. There's a few of the points that I spoke about at the very start there about, the things you learn in younger life that carries on. But to answer your question, I didn't miss it now at all. Like, I played it over in New York for a lot of years after, but I remember getting a phone call and be like, "Do you want to go out to Chicago?" And it's like, "No." And he says, "You've come out. All right."
Is it like the Evan thing?
But again, I have to preface this with, like, I have the American passport, you see, so I come and go.
Yeah.
It's while handy. I don't have to worry about visas and stuff. So the decision was a wee bit easier there, maybe, than
Having to go through the process
Aye.
of applying.
But yeah, like it didn't really. Like, I thought twice, but didn't really think three times.
Twice within 1 second.
Yeah.
And then obviously you spent a bit of time in college here in Dundalk with ourselves, like we said. But that was during your apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And that was not anything to do fitness related.
No.
That was you were there as an electrician.
I was, yeah. And I'd have to say, like, that was probably one of the best crack, like, that playing for that team. Because it was just kind of like, there was no, not that we weren't serious about it, but like, it was just went with the flow. Like, it was just serious crack.
So what I've often spoken about since obviously being with Oisin and Shane and that with that college team, it was just like total football. Like there was no messing. I think the only thing that we ever had to do was zonal mark on kickouts. That was it. That was it. Like that sounds mental nowadays. Like we watched the Lennon Cup final last week, where it's like secondary school finals, and there's both teams are dropping 15 men behind the ball. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I loved about that college team. I think that's why we obviously got on so well and we had that much crack, because there was no pressure or whatever. Then it was like he's a 20, 25 really, really good footballers.
Oh, yeah.
Who play football.
Yeah. Oisin again is one of the best coaches I've ever had.
Brilliant.
You know, he's top 3 for me, and I've been very lucky with having very good coaches, you know, throughout. And I remember it was the first game, and he says, "We're going to put you in corner forward." I goes, "That's dead on." Like, I stay there for about 7 seconds and then I got out the field. And he goes, "All right, go on ahead." And then that was it. That was the first game. It was on the lights. I don't know, I can't remember who we were playing, but kind of like, I don't know what your experience with Dundalk was, but like, they didn't win the transfer before that. We were the first team to win the transfer for Dundalk, were we? Yeah. So like, that was kind of like a getting over that hill too for you guys. And once we kind of played the first game or two and we won, I was like, we're not losing a game here. Like I'd never had that thought when we were playing with that team that we were going to go out to the field and lose. Like, I was like, how much are we going to win by? Do you know? Because that's how nobody knew how good a team we had.
No,
nobody did, and we were underdogs the whole time, and it was unbelievable.
We had Niall Cairns sitting on the bench.
Yeah, like,
Have some squad now.
Have a do
It was unbelievable.
Like, come on.
but even again, the style of football, like from the kickouts to goal, like we knew it. We got on so well that it was like he kind of knew where we were going to be. Like, you know, quick kickouts as well, and then so the ball was just get the fucking ball in.
Yeah.
And you know, so that was to this day still one of the best teams that I played on, and probably the most enjoyable. Yeah, if not top 2 or 3 most enjoyable, even all the games.
And the trench weekend it's some trip.
It's
away.
unreal.
It's some trip away. It's some trip away. Like,
It was kind of like, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, like serendipitous or whatever, that it was in Jordanstown, because I went to Jordanstown for 2 years. That was the first college I went to when we left like secondary school, and I played with them in the freshers and then the Sigerson and that, and then left, went to America and then came back and did the electrical. But then Dundalk that was my phase 6. Like, I really finished going back to work then, and like, the trench that was the last like college team that I played on, you know, when I was kind of, you know, that I started in Jordanstown and I finished in Jordanstown. It's kind of like, I don't know what the word, I'm looking ironic or something like, but
yeah, that's right.
That was brilliant.
No, exactly.
And we won. And that was, well, apart from obviously we won it the year afterwards.
you wanted the year
It
out.
hasn't been one since.
That's
There's
right.
been a couple of finals.
There were a couple of finals there.
Yeah.
Never again, man.
No,
That's
they need to get a ginger 12.
Hey, man, that's it. That's the same there.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
tough mantle to take. I think.
But probably moving on from that, like
Yeah, I feel left out here.
the decision then to go abroad. How did that originate, or where did that come from then?
Well, I obviously been born there. I was over back loads of times when I was younger, and then I went to Boston when I was 19. I went a year earlier on purpose because I didn't want to miss my last year of under 21s here for the summer. So I went a year earlier, and it had for 4 months. Like, it was unreal. Like, it's just talk about crack. Like, I was 12, you know, and there was a few of my friends went with me. So it was just unreal. We still have, you know, friends from then and still talk about it and stuff. And went over and played with the Megan Espys in Boston, and then came home. Then we actually won the All Ireland. Then the following year with the club, the Intermediate All Ireland, and then
Good decision then.
well,
Good decision.
Well,
It was
the
there.
one
Yeah, like I walked
reason
out for you, like.
that, you know, I went earlier so that I wouldn't miss that kind of football. And then I came back and did the electrical apprenticeships, and it took 4 years. So I was home playing, whatever. And then I was never actually going to go to America. Like, I was, the thought it did occur to me when I was in Boston. I was thinking I might just go home for 2 weeks and come back out and stay out. And I was actually going to go to New York. And then I told my best friend that, Brendy, and he told the old boy, who owns Mon Electric. And he rang me the next day. He goes, I have an apprenticeship here for you when you come back. Because I'd left Jordanstown. I was trying to swap courses, didn't get in. So I was sitting in New York at the time before I flew home with no job, no college, no nothing. And then he rang, he says, I have a job here for you when you come back. So, but at that stage, you see, there was very little apprenticeships going. So to get one was like a big deal. So I said, right, I'll come home. And then, so then that's why I was home then, and I was not really going to go out. And then it was probably a mix of things. I did get the call to go to Chicago, and I'd never been. And obviously it intrigues you, a bit of money in that, but you had played serious amount of football here, and having the passport allows you to go without having to worry about stuff. So I think I just made the decision, and I try to stick with it. And I said I would go for 6 weeks to Chicago. I ended up staying for 6 months. And then I came home for 8 weeks in January, and then I said I'd go out to New York for a year, and I'm there 8 years later. So
Mad, isn't it?
that's the way it goes.
I'm sorry, Daniel, did you had you completed the apprenticeship when you got this call for Chicago, and then that was a offer for a job out there, was it? Sorry.
No, well, I'd finished the electrical and I was qualified, fully qualified, and
So you think they can go all around the world and let you want, doesn't it? Yeah.
So, and the thing is, I will say this now, like the apprenticeships, I don't know what it's like now, but back then,
Irish one.
the electrical Irish electricians are the best in the world. Like they're just, it's you yourself having to deal with the weather here and the workload, and just we are very good with our hands and we're still good workers. So like you go to America and no harm boys, but they're not Tara, but if you're comparing them, so like when you go over, that's why all the foremen on jobs in America are Irish, because we are just very good at it. So like I that was another thing. If I was still in it, I probably couldn't have left, but the fact that I qualified, that allowed me to go. Like,
is that chapter of your life over in terms of
electrician?
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In terms of ever thinking about playing Gaelic football again in New York or for a championship run with Truagh?
He was on the Instagram there, was he, kicking a few points I seen as well? He's getting back in the game.
Never lose it. Hey, what is it? Forms temporary classes permanent. How would they say?
Yeah, Gandhi, I think.
I stand here. Somebody said that. David Goggins.
I forget that.
And here, like it's all well and good sitting talking to the lads, but this, that, and the other, and what if when you do this and you come back and blah 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 and all this. But is this going to be posted before Christmas or after Christmas?
Before.
The vibes you get way before we go home.
Christmas morning. Christmas morning.
You won't get it.
There you go, lad. Yeah. But here, like it's always it's your club, like when you're away, it's very hard to explain to people what Gaelic football is, and you don't get paid, like it's just fucking for your club, it's where you're from, like and here, I'd love nothing more to come back, kick a couple of points when it's not the championship for through, like who wouldn't? But like when you're that'll be 33 now in a month, and like I have to weigh up me livelihood, because one of the I don't play anymore. Like I haven't played football now in a couple of years, bar a wee stint there at New York, and the reason is because my job is my lifestyle. Like I have to be fit to go to the gym and have to fit to teach classes and work out. So if I get injured, and could be just a sprain, or it could be I don't even want to say it, but it could be a bad injury. I'm not fit to work, and it's you don't get disability anymore. Like if I'm not working, I'm not getting paid. Like so. It's you kind of have to weigh them things up, and there's the thing, I'm not going to be like, oh, I need all this money, because I don't want to go to the club and be like, pay for this, pay for that, pay for that. That's not the way I am, like, so I'm not coming home to do that either. So is there the question? No, but like, is it realistic? I don't know either. So there's so many different factors to it, and then I have, I do a lot more running now and coaching now, and it's like, you kind of have to pick one. Like it's very hard to run marathons and play good football. Another thing is that I me long enough. Like I'm not going to do things in halves. So like, I don't want to come back, play one game, and then come back in 3 months later, play another game. Because then I'm not doing the boys justice, I'm not doing myself justice, I'm not doing anybody justice. So it's kind of like all in to the point that you can go, or else don't do it at all. And it's kind of like, whether, if that decision is made, you kind of like, it has to be made and you have to stick by it. And then the other thing is like, yeah, it's all around good me saying it, but then there's a whole club, there's a whole team of men, you know, they have to be on board with it too, you know, and they have to nearly, and this is just me, like, I'd be expecting as much out of them as I'd be given, and I'd hope that they would. I don't, this thing, I've been away so long, there's boys there that were under 12s nearly, you know, that are now playing, and you'd obviously hear bits and stuff from watching games or talking to boys and stuff like that, but it's different gravy when you're talking out beside them. And as I mentioned at the start there about like the quality that I grew up playing with and what I expect of the boys, if you're not getting that and you're making all this effort, you come back and you're not getting it, it's kind of like, what the fuck are we doing here? So again, I don't want to be talking out of turn. I'm not saying, you know, the boys, I'm sure that once you see them and you say I'm giving 100%, they'll give it 100%, but there's so many factors now, and it's not like you're living in Dublin, like I'm living in New York City, so it's quite a bit. But the one thing is I do think about is, you know, Johnny Glynn won an All-Ireland with Galway hurling while living in New York. I don't know if you knew that, yeah. Remember Galway won the hurling like years ago? Johnny Glynn was playing, like, and him living in New York. I was playing with Sligo in New York.
Like, and back.
And how he's just flying over and back, like,
back, yeah.
Oh, so it's not out of the question. That's
So basically, it just comes down to how persuasive the Truagh boys.
I can someone accommodate his flights nearly.
That was it.
But it is, it's as he, you know, that's the great thing. You will, you come on, you know, the way Irish, just the way we talk and the way we go about things and stuff. But I do have to have a wee bit of a serious think and stuff about it, because I do have, you know, there's not just living at home with mommy, like I have a lot of stuff going on in New York that I have to give my full commitment to as well, or else the whole thing will go down the shitter, like so.
And then just from that side of things, so you're in New York, you're over there as an electrician. The fitness side of things, how did that come about then?
He was echt bit hard.
It is mad. When I look back, I'm like, how the fuck did I end up here now? Like, how am I sitting here after doing all, like, it is mad, and I don't know if I would do it again. Well, I probably would. But I went over in February of 2017, and I did the electrical till about May of 2018, so it was about a year and a half. And again, I liked it. Like, it was good. I was foreman even on jobs as well. You know, you got to that stage, and running jobs was great. But then there was a superintendent was just, I actually think he's a mental illness, God love him, but he was just bananas, like, and he'd come in every day to try to fire you. So like, I say, fuck this, I'm out of here. So I quit on a Tuesday. But at the time, I was seeing a physio in Jersey, and he needed a trainer, and I was like, no, I want to be a trainer, because I did a bit of PT here as well, just before I left, and I was always in the gym, so like I have that background and coaching, and mum's a PE teacher, as I mentioned, so like I can actually coach teams and stuff like that, so they kind of come second nature. But the story behind it was, I wanted to be a PT in New York City. Like, I wanted to be in the fitness scene in New York City, even though I didn't really know what it consisted of. Like, I would have seen on Instagram and stuff like this and that, and, you know, it came down to, I remember looking at it, I looked at my hands, I was like, do I want to get up every day and go to a building site and listen to a dickhead tell me what to do when he doesn't know what I'm talking about, or else go to a gym every day, wear a pair of shorts and help people? I was like, I want to do this. Like, that's
Simple as that.
That was it. Like, Tuesday morning, that's what I'm looking at my hands saying. That is as God honest truth. And then I quit that and went over to your man and started working there. But it was just, I wanted to be in New York City doing fitness. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I didn't know when I was going to get there, but I just knew it was going to happen. And you know, obviously it worked out, thank God, but the actual transition took, you know, nearly a year, because it was work. I lived in, so if anybody doesn't know, like, I lived in Sunnyside, which is in Queens. You have Queens, then you have Manhattan, and then you have New Jersey, and I had to go all the way to New Jersey and back again, like, every day. It's a 2-hour journey, like, by bus and train, and I did that every day for 8-9 months of the year of 2018. So it took like a lot. at the same time, he couldn't pay me enough, so I needed to work 2 jobs. So in the morning, I would go from Queens, I'd go into Manhattan, I'd work in flooring, so I would put floors in with Bonnie Duffy. Shout out Bonnie Duffy, Ballabay, good Ballabay man. And Decky, he's from Anna. He was like, he took me under his wing. But I would do flooring in the morning from 7 till 2, and then get the bus over to Jersey and work training people from 3 to 9. And I did that like Monday through Friday for all of 2018. And I remember I had to get the 9:36 bus from Edgewater in Jersey, and the whole way down, just you can see the city on the other side, like whole way down through the tunnel, get to the subway, walk over and walk for 2 minutes in the subway. So it was 2 hours every night. But did that, and I had this thought, oh, it's just going to be great, I'm going to get in the city and that. And then I realised, like, near the end of the year, I was like, I'm still in Jersey, I'm not actually in New York here, and I'm not making any headway getting in there. And then what I was actually going to quit. This is the thing, I was very close to, like, this is not working out, you're not making massive money, you're just working like a dog, I had no way of getting into the city. I was like, how the fuck am I going to be in here? And I had a conversation with my cousin on a Saturday, and she's like, don't give in, keep going, it'll happen. And then on the Tuesday, New York Sports Club reached out to me, which is a big gym franchise over there, and they're like, they want to do a photo shoot for us for the 2019 campaign. I was like, fuck yeah. I'm a model, I can do that. I've never been like done a photo shoot, like asking any Irish boy, like, you supposed to do that photo shoot there. What do you mean? Like, the far cry from just gelling the hair and going out for a Saturday night to pint, like,
If you have the
but like, that's just the classic, Irish high. Yeah, no bother, and you'll figure it out after. But did the photo shoot on Thursday, which was I think it was November 1st, 2018, and from that got into New York City because I asked about the manager of the thing. Was like, I need a gym in the city to train all my clients. I didn't have any clients. And he's like, oh yeah, no, we'll put you in here into this gym here in the city. And he emailed Heather, was her name, absolute saint. She's one of those people that definitely changed my life. He emailed her with me on it. Like, usually, like, you'd blind CC, so you wouldn't see each other. Fucking straight on, Heather, me, him. This is Daniel. Should you bring him in for an interview? He wants to work in the gym. And she had to say yes then, So I think she was telling me after, she's like, who's he think he is? Just inviting this boy in, I don't know who he is, blah, blah, blah. And long story short, I went in and did a bunch of interviews with her, taught a class in front of her, trained a client in front of her, and she gave me the job the day before I flew home for Christmas 2018. So I came home knowing that when I went back out in 2019, I had an actual job in New York City, which turned out to be like one of those moments when in life when you're like, fuck, it paid off. So like, I was going from nearly quitting to, getting to that job in 2019, and then it just that was it. Like, I went from working 2 jobs to working every hour that I could, and I went from no clients and no classes to, I think I had 12 clients and 16 classes a week, 6 days a week. I was up at 4:30 every day to get the 5 a.m. bus to teach 6 a.m.s every day, 6 days a week. And I did that for all of 2019. And the thing that stands in my mind is that I did the photo shoot November 1st, 2018, and I got the keys to my West Village apartment November 1st, 2019.
So exactly.
So like in a year, that kind of shit sticks in your head.
Shifts to like some change, like,
Do you know when I'm like, it's a great story and see the resilience you showed, but I can't stop thinking how much of a cunt that supervisor on my street. Swear to God, he's doing that for the year.
I every day. I was one there where one story again. I'll not say his name. Like, boys will probably know who he is, but there was this job we were working on, and you had to get the elevator up onto the top, and it was all the up. So like if you missed it, you had to wait nearly 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes before you comes down till you go back up. Right?
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of us. The subway wrecked us one morning, and we were all like, there was 6-7 of us, like, walked in the door one time, and you could see him from the other side of the room. He closed the door, and up he went in the elevator, knowing there's 8 of us standing there, like, right? And then we went up anyway, and he drew a big line because you had to sign in. He drew a line on red line with red fucking marker, everybody after this is late, knowing we're downstairs.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So that's what you're dealing with.
That's
Do you know what's ironic though? If he hadn't have been such a cunt to him, he might be still on the site.
That's what we're talking about. Everyone happens for a reason, you know.
That's some people are strange though.
And
Team
out here.
And just from that side of things, like obviously then you get into social media and stuff like that, and you start to build a big following. How does that come about? Does that come about from just getting your foot in the door in the gym, or?
I will, bit of both, yeah. Like I remember when I started in the gym in 2019, it was in Your Sports Club Lab. It was on 16th and 6th, and it was unique in the way it was they just taught classes and personal training, so it wasn't like a gym you could walk into like the rest of the New York sports clubs, but it was great because I could teach a class and then train a client right after. So I just spent all my day in there just working like class, and client, class, and just buying them out. So I remember I wrote all of our Instagram names on the top of the blackboard because they had an Instagram page, but it wasn't, it was just whatever. And then I was like, how do people get to know me? And this is actually how the Irish Yank came about, because I think it was like Daniel_Yank, whatever was my handle beforehand, and I was writing it out on the blackboard, and I remember looking at it and somebody had said, "Oh, that's the Irish guy," and then I was like, put 1 and 2 together, and then I wrote it, the Irish Yank. I had to put an underscore on it because the other one was taken. So the Irish _Yank, and that's where it came out of, because I actually had to write up on the blackboard. And then after every class, like, all right, go follow us all on Instagram. I wrote everybody, all the instructors' names up there. And that was like the start of marketing and just, getting the name out there. And that was 2019. Obviously COVID happened in 2020, and then the big push of the following kind of came with that following employer,
Yeah.
See, we were actually going to ask about the Irish Yank to see where I came from.
Yeah.
But like, see the way you were saying, Daniel Yank, I think, does it before. Does Yank just come from maybe you with the American passport, a family member, and you're all over and back?
Yeah, there's there's a few reasons. Your intro of Yankee was haven't heard that in a while, just because we're away, and it's Daniel McKenna, like very, very formal over here, in America. But growing up, so my last name is McKenna, and in True, there's a million of us. There's so many McKennas, so each family has a nickname. So like there's the Peddlers, the Ionies, we're the Yankees.
Oh.
So my granny was May Yankee, and I think it actually came from like my great granny or uncle went to America and came back. So, Yanks are back, So that's where it kind of came. That's where it came from. But it did, like, you had to differentiate the families, because there's literally like all of us McKennas down there. Like Paddy Peddler is Paddy McKenna, Chrissy Dugan is Chrissy McKenna, Sean Dugan is Sean McKenna. I'm Daniel McKenna. Daniel Yankee is Daniel McKenna. So, and none of us are related, So, so that's where, and then I would have everybody called me Yankee growing up, like all the lads. Like it was never, Daniel or McKenna. It was always Yankee.
It took us until it was a while into college before we knew your first name. It was Yankee McKenna. That was it. That was over.
Yeah. I think the Yankee McKenna came in college, because like every form was just Yankee, and then it was Yankee McKenna, and then the Irish Yank, whatever. But it just happens to be that I have an American passport, so the Irish Yank just it goes together. But yeah, that is actually the backstory.
So we'll probably jump into going from obviously the New York City lab. Then after that was COVID had hit, and then the Peloton opportunity came about.
Yeah.
How did that actually come about? Did you apply? Were you recruited?
Yeah, recruited. Yeah. Again, I love these stats, boys. But COVID happened, obviously, and within 24 hours, every single personal trainer in New York City went from in-person personal trainer to an online personal trainer, like instantly. Everybody was, and it was funny because like everybody was like figuring out how the fuck do we do this? Yeah. What is Zoom? How do you work it? And then Instagram lives were popping off, and then it was like, what time are you teaching? Oh, I'm doing 7 a.m. Oh, well, I'm going to do 6:30s then. Like people are just, fighting.
Competitive.
And this is where I learned a lot, because people then were realizing, the consumer was realizing, right, I actually have to pay $30, $35 here to work out in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Different story going to the gym and being in the facilities and all that there, but when you're paying it to work out right here, they figured out, who do I want to give my money to? So they kind of weeded out a lot of the shit, and really only the good ones were left, in my opinion. And then I built up a wee community in the lab over that 2019 year, and when COVID happened, I kind of said to them here, like, I'm going to do this program. We use twice a week, Tuesday, Thursdays, and then I taught on Saturdays as well, and did that for the first half of 2020, and then once the restrictions calmed a bit, one of the girls goes, "Why did you do this outside?" Because I had a bunch of kettlebells in the house. And I go, "Fucking gosh, why not?" So then I said, right, I'm going to do a class outside, because people were dying to get out and be with people. So it was outside, nobody could say anything to me. And I was, right, going to do class, whatever, and fucking 30 people showed up first day. And I was like, "Oh, right, sure, we'll do this again." Then everybody's like, "Can we do this again next week?" I was like, yeah. Well, so that just snowballed for the whole second half of the year of 2020, and went from teaching one class to teaching Tuesday, Thursday, and then 2 classes on a Saturday back to back. I think I did 3 back to back to back one weekend, but yeah, it was usually 2, and the whole second half of the year, and it was just 30, 40 people coming, and it was just, again, it was just great crack as well. But they mightn't even knew that they were having great crack. It was just good banter, And then, but they were actually getting a great workout in. I've just reinvested all my money back into buying more and more and more bells. So I had like 32 kettlebells in my apartment.
I remember some
And I
videos and that was mental.
It was madness, like.
It's like a full basketball court.
Literally.
Or something, like full of kettlebells.
Yeah. And I lived on a 4th floor walk.
Yeah, does the floor get dodgy?
Good starting New York City houses, but no, and then that kind of built the character into it too, and the bit of, because like I would obviously carry them down, and you'd get carts and stuff and that, but then people would arrive a bit earlier to help carry them down, and then at the end it was like, all right, everybody grab a bell, grab 2, grab 3, whatever you can, let's go. And it was a whole thing that everybody then had to carry a bell up 4 flights of stairs. So there's great crack, and at the time, like, people were really enjoying it, because they went home and then that was it, So from that, Peloton was obviously like skyrocketing, because everybody's working out at home, and then they recruited me at the end of 2020, and they'd interviewed literally every single person that they could. And I remember one of the recruiter, I actually still chat with him a bit, but he said that he rang me and 2 of the other people that they hired in the same week, so he got 3 people out of like 1,000 in 1 week. Do you know, which is kind of funny. But yeah, like that was it. Took 5 months of a fucking audition process, and then started very similar to where I got the job in December and started in January 2021.
What is Peloton, Daniel? Can you just explain that? Like, maybe you said it to me the other day, and I was like, I kind of didn't know what it was, but maybe I'm on the rock.
It's a it was a bike. You could work out, stationary bike virtually, and then they had treadmill and strength classes and stuff like that there, and that's the thing, you work out from home, like, and the thing is, like, the product is phenomenal, like, and again, I'm not going to sit here and be like, no, it is a great product, and the community is phenomenal, like, they're very, they know themselves very cultish, like, but when they support you, which is all you could ask for in our community. And like, that's it, you could just work out from home, and it just exploded, because that's all anybody could do. Obviously they're not doing as well now, just because people are going back outside and going, back to their own thing. And but yeah, it was recruited. They hired a few of us that probably I was one of the first like 10 people to be hired that year. So I was happy to be flying the flag for Ireland.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Do you think, like, to me, knowing you, like, that isn't something that you would like to do, as opposed to being in that environment with 30, 40 people standing in front of you, throwing kettlebells around, having a crack?
Yeah.
Because it's just that, like, that interaction, I think, would be something that would suit you an awful lot more, and something that and rather than sitting on a bike.
Yeah, I was
told what to do nearly.
No, 100. You're dead right there. So I was on the treadmill and strength, so I wasn't on the bike. And you're just, you are right. Like, I absolutely thrive in coaching groups and people, and in-person person training is like my bread and butter. I love it. Virtual's great, and I do it. And I think it took me a while, because when we were learning it, it's mad. And this is where I think that, like, you could put me anywhere and I'd thrive now, just because I've had to go from teaching in groups and people to nobody in the room. You're literally talking to a camera. You're talking to a camera, whatever it is, and it is a mind fuck. Like, it takes a while, and then it wasn't really till I went live and I seen the reaction from people that it kind of like spurred me on. Then I was fit to. I learned very quick too when you're putting the moment. So it just, once I went live, like, that was, to your point about the social media, like, it never stopped. Like, it just was a rocket ship and never slowed down. Like, but yeah, man, put me anywhere in front of people, I'd be laughing. Good to go, like.
And it's different, I think, to obviously probably moving on to the after Peloton couldn't afford to pay the wages for you anymore. You were just too good for them.
There's that, yeah.
Obviously, your own app now.
Aye, much better. Way better.
But completely different. But completely different to what was being done. Like, I know that you still have that sort of virtual effect, but it's a lot more personal from what I've seen of it, and from what I've seen people, how people speak about it and that. So would you mind just telling us a little bit about it, as if basically we've never seen or heard of it before?
Yeah, like, I have my own app now, the Irish Yank Fitness app, and the thing that I learned was that, I can do it virtually. Like, I can train people virtually, because what excelled me was my programming and how to teach the class and get the point across. Like, I wasn't just doing random stuff. I knew what would help people, and I knew what could get people from, not moving to moving, or getting stronger, and especially when they're at home and they have certain weights and stuff like that. So, launched my app, was that September 2023, and it's been going great. And yeah, it is workouts that you can do at home, because we still have that following that does that. So, but you can do it in the gym as well. You can do it from your phone. You can hook it up with TV, do it. And my thing is, I'm always encouraging people to lift heavier and to get, I call them the heavies. And like, people don't realize how strong they are. I think one thing I was gifted with is getting that potential out of people, and that kind of comes all the way from my mum. Coached me from when I was younger, PE teaching, the sports aspect, and then just all the coaching that I learned up through the years, how to actually get them to lift heavier. And I will say that I think one thing is that having the Irish accent, definitely, as funny as it sounds, like, when it's said with the accent we have compared to another accent, like, it's nearly more encouraging. It's like a warmer welcome, nearly. And that's kind of like been the main driving force, is getting people to lift heavier, so that they can then, they have this like aha moment, like, oh my God, I can't believe I lifted that. And then that's the buy-in, and then they're like, I want to see now what I can do. And then I related to like real life situations, because like 95% of my following is female, and the people who work out is mums, and like people from probably 25 to fucking 70, and I relate it back to real life situations. So, like, you have to carry your kid. It's so funny when I had this conversation so many times where women come up and be like, I don't want to lift more than 20 pounds, or like a 5-6 kg. And I'm like, oh, all right, but you have a 2-year-old, right? Oh yeah, how much does she weigh? Oh, she's like 50 pounds. And you carry her around, you just lateral raise her like all day, every day. Like, do you know what I mean? So I'm like, you have it in you, and it's like my job, I've never taken on my job, is to get that out of them, so that it's just need to take that fear away that they can lift heavier. And my classes are very instructional too, where I try to really bring the point across on how to do it properly, and like, this is yes, this is a no, and they feel a lot safer, they feel more encouraged, and then once they see that the progress they make, it's like they want to keep doing more and more and more. So it's been great, and that's like, I'm always trying to evolve. I'm always trying to see how can I get more people, help more people, and that's definitely going to be one of the goals for like 2025, is just get in front of more people and show them what what their true potential is. And that's just one aspect of the app. I program for gym. Like, if you were going to the gym as like most people will now in the next week or 2 weeks, is, you know, once January comes, like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the gym, and then they go there like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then like that's where I program so that you walk in, you have a plan, you videos of it, you know exactly what you're doing, how much to do, what to do. So it's just getting it in front of them, and once they try it, I know that they love it. So yeah, the Irish Yank Fitness app, lads. There you go.
There's the plug.
That's cool the way you relate that to like a normal thing. Like I was kind of going to ask you maybe a bit like how do you see the motivation, or what motivates people? So like, is it when they get in front of you, like you kind of suss them out a wee bit and you kind of understand that, or?
Well, especially the in-person. So the in-person training is like my, like, I love it.
Yeah.
I'll probably always do it, no matter if I'm like doing all the stuff and business stuff. Like I've definitely, like I went, as I said earlier, like I had like, it was 12 to 16 clients in person, like 10 a day, like fucking 6 a.m, 6 p.m, same day. We actually had a joke, me and one of the boys, like we were turning the lights on in the gym and off in the gym, like every day. But I'm not going to go back to that, but I want to have, I'll probably always train people.
Yeah.
But I always say, like, what's the specific goal? Because the biggest problem with a lot of people is they don't know what they actually want.
Yeah.
They see people like, I want to get toned, I want to lose weight. Great. Stop eating and go for a walk. You know, that will work. But then like I'm like, all right, well, what, like if I was to say to you, like, what's your specific goal? Like, give me something specific. And you're like, I want to get stronger. No, more specific. Like, I want to fit into this shirt, or I want to be fit to lift my child overhead. I want to be fit to carry the groceries in without having to drop them, or, you know, and it's, you know, I want to be fit to do this stuff. And once they have that realism and they're like, oh, that's a goal, then you be like, actually me as a coach can actually lay out a plan,
That's
be like
foundation, like,
A to B.
yeah.
And then, you know, a few of my personal training clients, or the virtual clients that I have, is like they hike and stuff, or they run, and then once they see they're running faster, they're not fatigued as much after, and their hiking is better and easier, they're not gassed as much, and they're fit to play with the kids. And like there's one that lived in San Francisco, and like San Francisco lives there, it's a hill, like San Francisco is just a hill, like that's what it is. She lived on a hill, so she's pushing the pram with 2 kids in it up and down the street, and she could notice the difference and how much easier it got when she lifted heavier weights. So now it's like a challenge. You're like, let's see how fast I can get up this hill, you know. So it's like
Just
don't
lifting
feed
the
them.
pram straight up the hill. Not even rolling, lifting up the hill.
Pretty much.
Well, that's
But
good though.
It's brilliant, yeah. And just then, probably, you mentioned there you had a camera, and then just seen through the social media and that, you're into a bit of photography as well.
Yeah.
So that's a completely left side again.
Yeah.
How does that come about then?
Yeah. I love photography. It's definitely it was my hobby. I turned it into a bit of a business there a couple of years ago, and the way I relate it is there's 2 types of people, right, in the world. If I give you my phone, person A will be like, click, there you go, there's your picture. They take one, it'll probably be blurry, and they didn't even look at, you know, whatever. Then there's person B, you'll be like, you take a picture, yeah, no bother. Oh, actually, stand over here, no, turn a wee bit, yeah, hold on, let this pass, and then,
And
okay,
honkers and everything,
you know,
these
the whole
big
thing, and then it's like
shots,
click, all right, turn there, that's me, you know. And then I kind of realized that, and even just, it's the creative side of it too. You know, I would have definitely done a lot of drawing and stuff when I was younger, and that kind of creative side of me as well. And it just kind of, you know, kind of tucked to it like a duck to water in a way. And it was nearly a good outlet as well, from when you're a trainer and you're with people like all day and you're talking all the time, to get to like go out and just take some photos and then edit them, and you're literally not talking to anybody, but you're using your brain in a different way. And there's so much to it. Like, photography is one of those things that you're forever going to learn, and it's always progressing, because the cameras, when I started even till now, have gotten like unbelievably better, like, and it's something that it's a life skill that you'll always use, you know. And even now, like, once, like, I had a christening in there, and I just brought the camera or whatever, and I just got a couple of photos, and like, though that to me is like, they'll fit to look back on those in years to come and be like, oh, remember that day or whatever. And even just my fit to help friends out with that kind of thing is enough for me. Yeah. You know, it's not like I'm looking to be the best photographer in the world. I just like it, and I think you kind of look at the world a wee bit differently too, because you're kind of, when you see things differently, and you're fit to that. I think it's a very helpful thing, because if somebody is taking a photo
you're like, how long? Wait, move that by out of the road. Now take your picture, you know, and then, you know, that kind of thing. And I definitely think it helped me creatively and give me another outlet. That when you came back to it, it's like playing handball for a while and then come back to football. Like, it just benefits the hand-eye coordination, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
There's a photo you took, Yank. I remember seeing it. It's a good while now since since you had it up. Don't know what avenue it is, but it's in New York and it's the sunset.
Oh, the Broadway,
Is it Broadway? Is it?
Broadway, yeah. The 401 Broadway.
We
Yeah,
might actually be able to get a wee screenshot of it and stick it up here on this.
Yeah, you will be
on the video.
Yeah.
Jesus, man, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, that one, and then I got one. Probably the best one. There's two of them. The Pink Tree is called. It's DMCK photography, by the way, folks. But there was. I was taking a photo around Christmas. I think it was maybe actually 2017, 2018 Christmas, and Madison Square Park on 23rd Street, and I was taking a picture, and it was snow, and a fire truck drove past with the sirens and the lights that turned the snow pink. So I got that picture, and it nearly looks like a painting in a way. Not like it's when you look at it, you're like, how the fuck is that pink? Like, you know, and then they hear a story like, oh shit, yeah. So that's like probably my top photo of all. And then there was another one I got up early one morning over to the Brooklyn Bridge thinking that I would get a picture of the Brooklyn Bridge, but then it was too dark and it was too close. So I actually turned around and the sun was rising on the other side of the Manhattan Bridge. So I have a picture of like the sun through the Manhattan Bridge, and then it's just like glowing all around it. And that's like probably my second favorite, whatever. And I'll put it up. It's right here.
Yeah.
There's the two of them. I let it stay there.
Yeah.
And then we seen there that you took the dog over on the plane.
Aye.
That was
Young Dougal.
that was the
That's,
first.
that's,
That's
his,
the first.
that's his child, not his dog.
I
God.
know.
That
that's-
is a child.
I seen it on your YouTube thing, Dad of Dougal. Something with the caption, yeah.
Yeah, Dad to Dougal. Oh
and
man,
just
he's somebody.
he just sat there the whole way, no hassle whatsoever.
Not a bother. That's his
Unbelievable.
third time coming over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and passport and all. No.
The whole
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
job, the whole 9 yards for our Dougal.
God's wondering because Pat Santa, you know what I mean? He's wanting to see how to.
Hey.
No, my grand sent sword and back. There's plenty of passports, but it is a tedious procedure, is it?
It was, it was. Anybody doesn't know, I have a Rottweiler. Dougal he just turned 3 there a month ago.
Happy
And
birthday.
Happy birthday, happy belated. But like having a dog in New York City, like people hear of dogs. You grew up with dogs and stuff, and like it's just whatever. They're outside, whatever. Over there, like man, it is like children. Like there's ones you see ones push them in the prams. You see, like their life revolves around the dog, and 100% I am there. Like my life does revolve around him,
Yeah.
but like I have him trained. Like he is a Rottweiler. I understand, you know, some people just don't understand that it's a dog. Like, but yeah, like you know, it's I don't know what life would be like without him now. To be honest, like it's mad. But he's a service dog. He's trained, and like I take him everywhere. Take him to the gym. Take him to the shops. Take him everywhere. And it's got to the point now. If I go in somewhere without him, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
where's the dog? They literally couldn't care about me at all. Like it's like they just want to see the dog, and he's very, very friendly. He's the friendliest dog ever. Like he just says hello to everybody. Like I go to the dentist with him, and I just walk in and hand him off, and I go in, and they just walk around with him, and he goes in, says hello to everybody. Like it's comical. But getting him over here, like the first time, he has to be, you have to microchipped. You have to have the rabies shot after the microchip. Learned that the hard way. So you get the rabies before, then you get the microchip. That shot doesn't count because it's not counted by the microchip.
Yeah.
So you have to get it after, but you have to wait 21 days. And I tried to get that done a week before flying home. They're like, he's not flying home.
Yeah.
And then, but I got that. And then the first time I had to get had certificate to fly over, and it was $800 fucking dollars. But that's just the way it is. Like it's New York pricing. And then I got an EU passport here when I was home, and it was a great job. You know, €50, and now like I walk up and it's my passport and his passport, and away you go. Like
That's
It's mental.
And he just sits at the feet, is it?
yeah. So I the first time I flew with him, I got a first class seat, thinking it'd make life easier, but it was all right. Like boarded easy, first on, first off. But there wasn't as much room as I thought. So now I'd buy 2 seats back a wee bit, like in the main cabin or whatever.
Yeah.
Just out of pure courtesy of everybody. And
Yeah.
he lay. I give him a wee tablet just to calm him down a wee bit, and he'll lay and sleep the whole 7-8 hours, like not a bothering him. And it's him not saying hello to everybody is the problem. Like, he's not him barking or going to the bathroom. It's him wanting to say hello to everybody on the plane. And I fly with Delta the whole time, and like they're phenomenal. Like, they even air hostesses, like they be just walking up and down just to like go over to say hello, you know.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
great, like, but
Holy
yeah, no, he's the best. Like, not a bother on him, and sure, he loves coming here. He loves Ireland, loves coming. He knows the family and all that now too. Like, so he's a great time.
I was just gonna say that he probably is like mesmerised the first time he got to Monaghan.
Oh,
And
he didn't leave the lawn.
fields
for
at the
3
back.
days. He was outside the whole time. We couldn't get him in. But yeah, no, he loved it. He loved it. Yeah.
And what about he had a couple of incidents crossing
That's that for the
crossing the road.
Here.
He decided to go to little doggy's room.
Here. And it's unreal. Like, I think he definitely takes after us everybody here, and in the form of he loves the crowd, but no shyness at all. Like, it's funny, like, you know, and this we're talking about him taking shits here, folks, big poos. But like, if we were walking down the street, we might walk for like 10 blocks and not see a person. Just you'll see loads of people as an example, and then there'll be one person and he'll like shit right at their feet, like doesn't care, like, and then he look at me and he look at them, and like, you know, but
It's
yeah,
probably
he has this thing. I don't know if it was like I got him and it was like Christmas and it was snow, if that has something to do with it, but like, he loves the zebra crossings, so he'll always go there. And it was nearly a trick in a way. When he was younger, I kind of knew he would go to the bathroom there, so when you're trying to train him to go to the bathroom, when you're walking on back, he usually went. So I was like, oh, it's great. But now it's fucking torture, because anytime we're walking across, like, I'll not really be thinking or whatever, and next thing he just pulls up and like the light goes green and the traffic is coming, like. So I don't know if you've seen, but my 3 most viral videos are the 3 of him, and 2 of them are him taking a shit in the street, like. So
They are brilliant, in fairness.
it's very funny, like, and the first one was the New Yorker. She pulled up in the car, and she rolled the window down, and I thought she was going to chew the head off me, and she goes, oh, what's his name? You know. And he's just like, he's a true New Yorker, she says. I'm like, oh, let's see. Trying not to get run over here, like.
I went into the comments of the most recent one. There was a lot of debate.
Here.
Did you go back
That was
and
the
pick it
debate.
up? Did you go back and pick it up? And then he's replying to them. Yes, they did pick it up.
Read the caption, read the caption, read
and
the
there's
caption.
people just fucking. Oh, it was a good laugh.
It's
as
comic, because I learned from the first one that because I didn't write in the first caption, because I didn't show
was
it.
good.
Get off the street here. I'm not going to show me going back to pick it up. Like, you don't need to say that. And then the second video, I posted it and I wrote, like, at the bottom, P.S. I went back and picked it up. Nobody reads the captions. And like, there's been probably, like, say there's 1,000 comments, 800 of them are like, bro, did you pick it up? Whatever. And there's me replying, read the caption, read the caption, read the caption, read the caption. And then a few of the clients seen it and they went in on it and they were like, read the caption. Oh, it was comic.
I thought it'd be like someone's just picking up on loads of people saying it, and then they're doing it to annoy you, you know? It's like, and they see you commenting back, and they're like, we're gonna get
Yeah.
Is the boys all at home with fake accounts?
100%. But actually, it just breeds a bit of, you know, it kind of went a wee bit viral and that, so obviously helping it, but it's like, it's a bit of crack, like.
I don't know, Dougal's not here to defend himself. We might have to get him on the podcast to have his side of the story about these things, no?
He'd have a great time. Be sitting in your lap, that's where he'd be up there, not a bother. Oh, he's somebody,
You'd
you
be welcome.
And come here, probably just coming
come to a close.
close enough to the end. What's next for the Yank Society? What's next for you? Is there anything on the horizon that you're sort of eyeing up in the near future?
Well, like, it's always, you're just trying to scale, you're trying to get bigger, you're trying to help more people. Like, that's, you know, as corny as it sounds, like, that's kind of the goal. This industry that I'm in it is trying to help more people and get it in front of more people. And you know, I had a year non-compete with that crowd, so I couldn't teach online, so I taught the summits that I was doing all over the country, and, you know, a weekend summits of teaching people how to work out and work with kettlebells and stuff. And I loved it. Like, it was class, and did all over the country, north, south, east, west, and even up into Canada too. And I'm doing it again this year, but I'm doing a West Coast and an East Coast one. The East Coast will be later in the year, hopefully. But the West Coast will be in April, and I'll be doing like barbell stuff, and dumbbell stuff. Like think of it like, you know, people. And I think back to whenever, let's say, I was starting, what would I have loved to have known? And the fact that I know now that I can then teach it to people is like fucking dream now. So trying to just get in front of more people and show them that it's an educational thing where I want them to have the ability to walk into a gym and feel comfortable, no matter if it's fucking packed or it's empty. Like when you know that you can do a workout, even if it is busy or you have to think, you know, do it differently or whatever. That's kind of the point I want to get across. And yeah, so we're doing one in San Diego in April, probably New York later in the year. Nothing definite yet, but like that's just one aspect of it. Grow the app, you know, get more people on the app is another. And yeah, just, you know, trying to build the Irish Yank community. And I, you know, I'm not against coming back and forth a wee bit more. The goal is always to have a house here and a house in America and live between the two of them. And the whole point, even come back to the name of like the Irish Yank.
Yeah.
It's everybody obviously is American over there, but they love the Irish, and it is that Irish banter and the charm that really brings it home. That's what differentiates it from any other, because anybody can get a gym program anywhere. Like you can ask AI now for it and you get a great one. So, but it's the person, like that's why personal training will never go out of business, is because it's personal. And yeah, just trying to grow that and build a community. That's kind of what it all kind of revolves around now, is the Irish Yank community. And I'm trying to really give back to them as much as I can, because what's the point of it being up here if I can't get it out? And you know, I do these weekly calls. This is like the new one now that I started there the last 3 months of the year, is the weekly Zoom calls. And you're not working out, but they get to come in and ask me questions. So like, think of it as, and this could go to any, like if it was, let's say it was a business coaching or a podcast, like if you were to go to Andrew Schultz or fucking Mr. Beast or whatever, and he had a weekly Zoom call and you're fit to go and ask him questions and he'd answer. Like you're getting straight feedback. So I want to build this community where the Irish Yanks or the community can come on and ask me questions ranging from, and I do 3 topics where it's training, mindset, or nutrition. So each week we'll talk about something different, and I'll give a wee speech about whatever it is on training, and then I'll open it up to questions, and then they ask like, well, why am I doing these reps, and why do I do this exercise, and what happens when this does this, whatever, and I'm fit to give then my answer and educate them or help them that way. And that's like, I try to think of it in a way of, you're getting to ask a personal trainer a question once a week minimum. You know, you don't get that, you know, and they mightn't have a personal trainer, they might just have a gym membership, probably just work out at home. And the fact that you have access to find out a question, you know, that might be bugging you, and it's something simple as like, what do I do when this machine is busy in the gym?
Substitute.
Do you know, like, and another thing is like, how do I get enough protein in there? Like, what is this better than this? Or like, what should I do in this situation? Like those things, and it's not that it's rocket science, but these questions like burden these people, and they wouldn't go to the gym, they wouldn't work out, they wouldn't take the next step because they think that this is such a big thing to overcome. Whenever, if they are fit to just come and ask me a question, and I crush all that doubt in them, and then they take that one step of going to the gym that one day, and then that's all it takes. So that's like the one thing that I'm really going to really push on is the community and getting in front of them more. And it's as simple as, you know, signing up into a Zoom link, and that's going to be, especially now at the start of the year when everybody's going to be there's going to be this onslaught of people starting the gym and lose 20 pounds in 5 minutes. Get the fuck out of here, you know. So
Can Irish people get involved in
yeah,
it?
yeah,
It's available.
yeah. I want to, you know, it's accessible to the community. So signing up to the app is how you get in, you know. And at the minute we're working with the app. We're trying to tweak it a wee bit, but my goal is to get in front of as many people as possible. So it's worldwide, and I do it. I try to do it in a time that can manage. I had 1 or 2 people that was from Ireland that joined, and it goes to coaches as well. Like these, you know, I bring on special guests. The goal is now to do at least once a month, have a special guest come in and talk to them, because if I have people who are the leaders in the industry, why am I not sharing it when they'd be happy to come on and have a chat? You know, so that's kind of the goal. And yeah, it's accessible to anybody and everybody all over the world.
And just Instagram pages or
yeah, the
not
Irish
that you
Yank.
need to know. But
The Irish _ Yank is where you find me, the Irish Yank app. All the links are in all the bios. DMCK photography is the photography, and yeah, like that's where that's where you find me. All the websites are there. I also have foundation as well, as we finished the Irish Yank Foundation, and we have our New Year's Day run this every January 1st. Because the reason it came about was the community was so big back in 2022, and that we raised money for my charity here at Errigal Truagh Special Needs back home with people with Down syndrome, wheelchair bound, autism, mental, physical disabilities, and they have a centre that they pick them up every day, take them to it, help them out, and then drop them home every day. And it's one of the in our club, it's like you have the schools, you have the football, you have the chapel, and Errigal Truagh Special Needs is one of the main factors. And they go to all the football games and all that, especially growing up. So I wanted to give back, and Mum actually teaches there once a week and has done for 20 something years. So originally it started where we just raised money over in America, dollars, thousands of dollars. And we're raising that much that I was like, fuck, I think we should actually make a proper 5013C over there with us. So that's where the Irish Yank Foundation came out of. And every year we just try and hold events. And the first thing we came out of was like let's do a run, because that's, you don't need anything, you put your shoes on where you go. And at the time, lucky enough, Glasgow Harriers is the run club in Emmy Vale there. The amazing run club. Like the youth that's coming up there running is phenomenal, and it's been going well before me. And they just happened to be looking then at the time for a charity to join with. So Universe, thank you, came together, and yeah, we've been doing it. Last year was our first year. We're doing it again this year. 5 and 10k New Year's Day, if anybody's about, come on, head down.
Oh, unbelievable, Dan. That's deadly.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Over, yeah.
And that's in True, is it?
That's in Emmy Vale, yeah, next through there every New Year's Day. And it's like every year we want to try and bigger and better and get more people out. And it's kind of start the year off and on the right foot, and as you mean to go on. And it's all for a good cause. This is the thing. It's even when I was doing the classes in with the kettlebells in the city, it was never about the money. It was getting people out of their homes, getting people together. The app and this is like trying to get people out, get them stronger, help people. It's the money's kind of like the side part of it. That's where I said at the very start, like my mum's PE teacher, playing the football, coaching the lads, like the team aspect, helping everybody, and that's kind of where the bottom line is just helping people.
Giving back, yeah, that's brilliant.
We might look at doing that run, will you?
Yeah, we will. We will look at doing that run.
That's a great.
That'd be deadly.
Yeah.
We have teams, actually. We have teams. So it's a new thing now.
I'd be sick now if we don't win. I don't know if I can win in it. I won't win, and I'll be sick if we don't win, Dan.
The new one, we only started it this year. We just came up with it. Is you can have teams of 4. So when you arrive down in the morning, you sign up, whatever, and you be like, we have this team of 4. So when you get your number, the 4 of you are together. So it's the fastest team of 4 to cross the line. So like
they're all added up.
They're all So you could have like 1 really fast person and 3 real slow. But if you all cross the line before the other teams, like you win. So and we have prize money and all. So like we're kind of like.
I'll be picking my own tree. They'll be dragging me along.
The boys are about to say, put a team for the podcast in. No, I'm gonna get my own team.
So
eight different teams.
So that's gonna be. I'm actually very looking forward to that, because like it'd be a lot of football clubs and stuff. Hopefully will come down and put a wee team, and it'd be a bit of crack. Like, that's the whole point of it. It's a bit of crack, like.
Yeah,
deadly.
Very good. That's
brilliant,
that's
brilliant, great idea. And